In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Think about the final defining scene of The Truman Show. Truman stands at the edge of his universe, facing a literal door painted into the sky. Behind him is a fabricated world where he was the ultimate victim of a massive, non-consensual manipulation. What happened to him wasn't his fault, but stepping through that black, terrifying doorway into the unknown, that was entirely his responsibility. Today, millions of us are standing in front of our own doors, but instead of turning the handle, we are pulling up chairs, decorating the fake walls, and using highly sophisticated psychological jargon to explain exactly why we can't walk out. We are living in an era of hyper-psychological fluency, but the irony? We haven't actually gotten better at healing. We've just become incredibly articulate at narrating our own paralysis. For decades, the dominant social mask was stoicism. People swallowed their agony, slapped on a smile, and said, "I'm fine." Shattering that toxic silence was a necessary revolution, but as the cultural pendulum swung, we traded one social mask for another. We moved from the illusion of perfection to the performance of pathology. If this newfound vocabulary was being used to build bridges, it would be a triumph. Instead, therapy speak has been weaponized into the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. Terms like holding space, toxic boundaries, and trauma responses are thrown around to magically excuse emotional immaturity. People will ghost their friends, explode over minor inconveniences, or act with stunning selfishness only to hide behind clinical buzzwords. We realized that if we could meticulously diagnose our dysfunction, we could comfortably absolve ourselves from the messy, uncomfortable work of fixing it. The diagnosis became the destination, rather than the departure point. This brings us to a harsh, deeply uncomfortable truth. When you wear your trauma as your primary identity, when you defend your triggers rather than dismantling them, you are betraying your authentic self. The chaos handed to you in your past was profoundly unfair. The people or circumstances that broke you did not ask for your permission. But if you recoil at the word responsibility today, you need to understand what you are actually doing. Refusing to take ownership of your recovery isn't a form of rebellion against the people who hurt you. It is a surrender. When you let your history dictate your personality, you are handing the director's chair of your life right back to the person who wrote your tragedy. You are giving them free rein to script your future long after they've left the stage. It feels insulting to be told you have to clean up a mess you didn't make. But staying buried under the wreckage is a far worse injustice to yourself. Taking responsibility does not mean white-knuckling your way through the dark. It doesn't mean the pain wasn't real or that you don't deserve a safe harbor. In fact, admitting you cannot do it alone and demanding help is the most fiercely independent choice a human being can make. But the bottom line remains, no one else can turn the handle for you. The moment you reclaim jurisdiction over your own mind, you stop waiting for the universe to apologize. You step out of the dome.
Damn right.
It is a terrifying realization because it strips away all of your beautifully crafted excuses, but it is also the most intoxicating freedom you will ever experience. Your trauma is a chapter in your biography, but it doesn't get to hold the pen anymore. You are standing at the door. What you write on the other side is entirely up to you.